I need you to listen carefully because what I'm about to share could make a huge difference in your life or in the life of someone you love. When a man starts getting up multiple times during the night to urinate, he usually thinks, well, I'm getting older, this is just normal. And he lets it slide. Doesn't mention it, doesn't see a doctor, doesn't look for help. But that symptom that seems small could be hiding something much more serious. I'm Dr. Emily Carson, and I've been a urologist here in Canada for over 15 years. I've seen hundreds of patients walk into my office after years of dealing with this discomfort. They all tell me the same thing. Doc, I thought it was just part of getting older. But let me tell you something really important. It's not that simple. The prostate is a walnut-sized gland located just below the bladder. Its main job is to produce part of the seminal fluid that protects and nourishes sperm. The problem is that over the years, this gland tends to grow, and when it does, it presses on the urethra. That's the tube where urine passes through. The result? Your bladder can't empty completely anymore. You get up to use the washroom, you urinate, but you feel like something's still in there. And pretty soon your bladder's sending that signal again that it needs to empty. That's how the vicious cycle begins. Interrupted nights, fragmented sleep, accumulated fatigue. And it doesn't stop there. What we doctors call benign prostatic hyperplasia brings with it several uncomfortable symptoms. A weak or intermittent urine stream, straining to start urinating, dribbling or leaking after you're done, and even pain or burning. Now think about what this means in daily life. Poor sleep, feeling drained, losing focus, living with discomfort, and that silent fear that maybe it's something more serious, like prostate cancer. I've heard this worry many times, and it's completely understandable. That's why my recommendation is always the same. Don't ignore these warning signs. I remember this one gentleman, let's call him Robert, who came to see me at my clinic in Toronto. He wasn't just dealing with a medical problem, he was carrying this enormous emotional and family burden. His wife looked at me with eyes full of worry, because these kinds of symptoms don't just affect one person, they impact the whole family. That's why I always say that talking about the prostate shouldn't be taboo. It's not embarrassing, it's about health, and the sooner you deal with it, the easier it is to fix. I want you to remember 3 key ideas. First, getting up several times at night to urinate isn't normal, and you shouldn't just accept it. Second, that symptom could be the start of a bigger problem, like benign prostatic hyperplasia, which if left untreated can seriously affect your quality of life. Third, yes, age plays a role, but your habits, your diet, and your lifestyle are just as important for your prostate health. Picture this scenario. It's 2 a.m., you're sound asleep, and suddenly pressure in your bladder wakes you up. You stumble to the bathroom, half asleep, barely pee a bit, and within an hour you've got to get up again. And again, 3, 4, maybe 5 times a night. What happens the next day? You wake up exhausted, brain foggy, eyes heavy. Your body can't recover because that deep sleep, the kind that regenerates and strengthens you, has been interrupted over and over. If this happens one night, maybe you can handle it. But if it happens every single day for months or years, your entire health deteriorates. Science backs this up. Lack of sleep increases your risk of infections, blood sugar problems, weight gain, and cardiovascular disease. But it's not just about being tired. When an inflamed prostate compresses the urethra, your bladder never fully empties. The urine that stays behind becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, leading to recurrent urinary tract infections, often silent ones, without fever or obvious pain, but with confusion, disorientation, or weakness. I've seen families discover after a scary episode that the cause was simply an inflamed prostate. And there's more. That retained urine encourages the formation of bladder stones, which are painful and difficult to remove. In the most severe cases, the blockage can cause urine to back up into the kidneys, damaging their function. For all these reasons, as Dr. Emily Carson, I'm telling you, don't ignore what your body's trying to tell you. What starts as a nighttime nuisance can turn into a serious problem if you don't address it in time. Here's an idea I want you to hold on to. The prostate speaks, but it speaks quietly. Its first signals are whispers. Getting up at night, states. A weak stream, a little discomfort. If you ignore them, those whispers turn into shouts you can't silence anymore. I've seen men who, out of fear or embarrassment, let years go by. They showed up late to the clinic and paid a heavy price. surgeries, repeated infections, even dialysis from kidney damage. That's why I keep saying don't normalize what isn't normal. If you're getting up more than once a night, if you're noticing changes in your urination, if your intimate life has been affected, now's the time to act. A timely urological checkup can mean the difference between simple treatment and serious illness. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's an act of love toward your family, your partner, and everyone who cares about you. They need you present with energy, health, and confidence, and you deserve to live that way. Don't wait until the problem forces you to stop. Take control today. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, doc, but what can I actually do about this? Here's the good news. There is a natural and effective way to reduce prostate inflammation and improve symptoms. Not everything requires medications or surgery. Often, the first major tool is in your lifestyle, what you eat, how you move, and the daily care you give your body. As Dr. Emily Carson, of course, I prescribe medical treatments when they're necessary. But I also know from experience with hundreds of patients that changes in diet and habits can make an enormous difference. And the best part? They're available to everyone. Today I want to give you a concrete recipe, backed by science and proven in practice, that helps reduce prostate inflammation, improves urinary function, and protects men's health overall. It's a natural anti-inflammatory drink that combines 3 powerful ingredients: fresh turmeric, flax seeds, and lemon juice. Now, I know some of you watching this from Vancouver, Calgary, or right here in Ontario are thinking, where do I even get fresh turmeric? Don't worry, you can find it at most grocery stores now, or you can use good quality turmeric powder. Here's why these ingredients work. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound with anti-inflammatory effects so powerful that science has compared it to medications, but without the side effects. Flax seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and lignans that balance hormones and reduce inflammation. Plus, they provide fiber to improve bowel movements. Lemon offers vitamin C and antioxidants, with a gentle diuretic effect that helps cleanse the urinary tract and boost the absorption of curcumin. Now let me give you the step-by-step recipe. And I'm going to be really specific here because I know from your comments that you want exact measurements. Grate a piece of fresh turmeric about 3 centimeters long. That's roughly the length of your thumb from tip to first knuckle, and place it in a mug. Add 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds. You can grind them yourself in a coffee grinder or buy them pre-ground. Just make sure they're ground, not whole, because your body can't digest whole flax seeds properly. Squeeze the juice of half a fresh lemon. Add warm water, not boiling, just warm from the tap, or heated to about the temperature of a nice bath. Fill your mug about 3/4 full. Let it sit for 5 minutes. The ideal time to drink this is first thing in the morning on an empty stomach once a day. And here's the key, folks: consistency. It's not enough to do this once and expect results. I've seen real changes in patients who make this part of their routine for several weeks. In many cases, inflammation decreases, urinary flow improves, and they get back a quality of sleep that seemed impossible before. Now, I've been getting questions about this in my practice, so let me address them right here. Dr. Carson, won't turmeric hurt my kidneys if I take it for 3 months? Great question. For most people, turmeric is perfectly safe for extended use. In fact, it's been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. The curcumin in turmeric is actually protective for your kidneys in normal amounts. However, if you have existing kidney disease or you're on blood thinners, definitely check with your doctor first. But for the average guy with prostate issues, 3 months is absolutely fine, and many of my patients continue it for 6 months or longer with excellent results. Should I strain it or drink everything? You can do either, honestly. Some guys prefer to strain out the turmeric and flax seeds, which is totally fine. Others drink it all down. That's fine too, and you'll get a bit more fiber that way. Your choice, eh? What if I can't stand the taste? Look, I'll be honest with you, it's not exactly a Tim Hortons double-double, but you can add a tiny bit of honey if you need to. Just don't overdo the sweetener because we're trying to reduce inflammation, not add sugar. Beyond this drink, dietary changes are essential. What you eat every day can be either your medicine or your poison. Cut back or eliminate ultra-processed foods, deli meats, fried foods, fast food, and excess sugars. All of these create inflammation throughout your body, including your prostate. Increase your intake of green vegetables and fresh fruits, which are rich in antioxidants that protect your cells. Choose lean proteins like fish, skinless chicken, or legumes instead of processed red meats. Incorporate nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, chia, and flax that provide healthy fats. And here's something crucial. Drink enough water. A well-hydrated bladder empties better and prevents infections. Go easy on alcohol and caffeine, which irritate the bladder and worsen urinary symptoms. Movement is also part of the solution. I'm not talking about extreme workouts or hours at the gym. I mean walking at least 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. This simple habit improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and helps maintain a healthy weight, which is key for prostate health. There are also specific pelvic floor exercises, known as Kegel exercises, that strengthen the muscles controlling urination and reduce leaking. They're simple, discreet, and very effective. We can't overlook stress management either. Your body and mind are deeply connected. Living under constant tension makes your body release hormones that increase inflammation, including prostatic inflammation. That's why I recommend simple practices like deep breathing, guided meditation, or enjoyable activities. Reading, walking outdoors in one of our beautiful Canadian parks, or listening to relaxing music. Even just sitting by the lake with a good book can make a difference. I want to be very clear. This isn't a miracle solution that works overnight, but it is a real, natural, and effective path that, with consistency, can transform your life. I've seen patients who, after 6 to 8 weeks of following these recommendations, managed to sleep through the entire night without getting up for the washroom. Others regained energy, mood, and confidence in themselves. The message is that yes, improvement is possible, but it depends on your daily commitment. Let me share a story I'll never forget because it reflects what many men experience in silence. A few years back, I treated a patient, we'll call him Richard, who was 63, newly retired. His dream was to enjoy retirement by traveling with his wife, playing with his grandkids, and tending his garden out in the suburbs. But when he walked into my office, his face was marked by exhaustion. He told me in almost a whisper that he was getting up 5 or 6 times every night to use the washroom. "Dr. Carson, I just can't do this anymore," he admitted. "I never rest. I'm exhausted, and this is affecting my relationship, my mood, and all my retirement plans." What struck me most was seeing how this problem wasn't just stealing his sleep, it was snuffing out his joy for life. After applying the changes I'm sharing with you today, within a few weeks, Richard called me with a renewed voice. He said, "Dr. Carson, I feel like myself again. My wife and I got our routine back. My energy's back." Cases like Richard's prove it's never too late to take back control of your health. I also think of Luis, another patient from my practice. He's a 58-year-old high school teacher who loves hockey, both playing and watching the Leafs, but he told me he'd stopped going to games because he was terrified of not making it to the washroom in time. Can you imagine missing out on something you love because of your prostate? After following this protocol, Luis sent me a message. "Dr. Carson, my life has changed. I'm no longer obsessed with where the nearest bathroom is. I can be in a staff meeting without fear. I can go out for dinner with my family and relax. I feel free." His testimony, like Richard's, confirms every day that the decision to act in time transforms lives in a way that goes far beyond the prostate. When a man regains deep sleep, his energy and his confidence, his entire life improves. His cardiovascular health, his mental clarity, his mood, and even his relationship with his partner and family. I see it constantly in my practice, and it moves me to know these changes are possible without immediately resorting to surgeries or aggressive medications. That's why today I want to invite you not to resign yourself. If you've noticed any of these symptoms, getting up several times at night, weak flow, feeling of incomplete emptying, or changes in your intimate life, don't ignore them. They're your body's way of asking for help. The sooner you act, the greater your chances of recovering your well-being naturally. You know, working as a urologist in Canada for over 15 years, I've learned something important about Canadian men. We're tough, eh? We shovel snow in -30 weather. We play pond hockey until we can't feel our toes. We pride ourselves on being resilient. But sometimes that toughness works against us when it comes to health. We think, it's fine, I can handle it. But here's the thing. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. taking care of yourself so you can keep doing all those things you love, that's strength. Remember, you're not alone. Stories like Richard's and Louise's show that taking the first step opens the door to a fuller life, with restful nights, days filled with vitality and renewed confidence. I'm Dr. Emily Carson, and my commitment is to remind you that it's never too late to start taking care of your prostate and your quality of life. I want you to take away this message very clearly. You can recover your prostate health and your quality of life. It doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've had these symptoms. Change is always possible. I've seen men in their 70s or 75s decide to take care of themselves, and today they're living with energy and joy that many younger folks would envy. Don't wait for the problem to get worse. Every night you get up multiple times to urinate. Every day you spend tired and afraid. That's a signal your body needs a change. Start with something as simple as the natural drink with turmeric, flax seeds, and lemon. Start with a daily walk. Improve your diet. These are simple steps, but powerful ones that can give you back deep sleep, steady energy, and confidence in yourself. Look, I know some of you are thinking, that's great, Doc, but I need more help. I get it. That's why I've put together a comprehensive guide with over 200 recipes specifically designed for men who want to protect their prostate, improve their nutrition, and gain energy. They're easy recipes, nutritious, and designed to support the changes I'm suggesting. It's a valuable resource that could mark a before and after in your health. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's a necessity and an act of self-love. Make a commitment for yourself and for those you love. Start now. Your health, your rest, and your happiness can transform starting with a single decision made today. Each night of good sleep you reclaim, each day of energy you regain, each moment of confidence you restore. These aren't small things. They're everything. Your prostate is speaking. Are you listening?